to a brand new episode here on Britain's Farm. So as you can see, we're out today baling the hay that we made. Well, in the last episode we cut the grass, but I've since tedded it and rowed it and made it into hay rows, and as I say, now we're out baling. There's a lot of grass here, a heck of a lot of grass. I was very surprised at the amount of grass that has been put into the rows after we tedded it. I mean, delighted, of course, because this is all going to the cows. Not only have we now got beef stock, but we're soon going to be having dairy cows on the farm, and yeah, we need to get as much hay in as possible. Next year we're going to start doing silage, so that's going to be a new thing on the farm. And yeah, we're slowly but surely getting set up and ready for the way that the new farm's going to run. I'm going to say somewhere around here is the second breed around. If you're wondering why I'm doing it in the dark, it's because little old me gets a bit confused sometimes. I saw the fact at the beginning of the day that it said October 2 and thought, oh, no problem, because on my own save games that I sort of play for myself, basically I always have 4-day seasons. And of course at the start of the last episode, or maybe the episode before, I saw it was 2 and thought, oh, it's okay, I've got another 2 days yet. Cut all the grass, then it rained, no problem. Just need to get it to dry out a bit, so no problem. And then suddenly, kind of like, it dawns on me at the last hour, or actually I only play 2-day seasons on here, so we need to get this grass baled, because I mean, it's not overly going to be too bad, mainly because the grass will only grow to state 1 and we should still be able to see the rows, but I don't like that happening. And also as well, more rain is forecast. The first lot of rain that came, it lasted for an in-game hour, so technically speaking, and I hadn't tedded at that point, so technically speaking it wasn't like a huge deluge of rain. It was just an hour's worth of rain, and that was probably about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then the sun came out, then it flipped cloudy after probably about, I don't know, so the rain stopped about, was it 3-4 o'clock, and then we had sun for the sort of final hour or so of the daylight, and then it switched to cloud, and then pretty much instantly then switched to the rain symbol again. So the weather's a bit all over the place at the moment, so we're trying to get the all the hay baled before the weather does decide to turn again. But yeah, so we're mad at it, or I'm mad at it, because I'm the only one that's doing it. So it's been a busy old year, and it's set to get busier as well, because obviously in the next sort of few episodes or whatever, we've got the farm build to go. I still not sure whether to do it as a complete time lapse, or whether to do it, or whether to have a couple of episodes of it, or quite how to do it. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Should I do a couple of episodes? Should I just do one big long time lapse? Or not big long, but a time lapse of me doing all of the work that's required to be done. I'm not really sure what to do yet, because it's not going to be a half-hour thing. It's going to be quite long, because what I would like to do is I'd like to get a excavator, and I would like to, as explained in the previous episode, I think it was, level the ground so that it's completely flat, and then start to build the farm from that. So I want a nice stone wall to go around the outside, because Britons back in the day, their sort of farm play sets, the stone walls and the wooden gates and fences were very prominent in their toy range, and so I'd quite like to put some stone walls around, and do that, just because I want to try and keep it as authentic as I can, really. But yeah, so that's the sort of hope, and get some other things down there. So we're probably going to have the dairy cows down this end. I know most of the animals have gone up the other end, but we're getting to the point where we're sort of running out of space up there. So the dairy cows, the pigs, will probably come down here. But we have now, as you know, from probably 2 episodes ago now, I kind of forget where I am, because I sort of record the week's worth of episodes in one sitting, and I sort of forget where I've got to in terms of recording against, as a sort of in relation to episodes. Why has that gone that way? I don't remember doing that. Anyway. So yeah, so it's a bit annoying that I've got to do it in the dark. I was hoping to do this as a day video, but there you go. Something a bit different, I guess. But yeah, so it's a it's going to be a long evening, I think. We haven't got too much to do, to be fair. We've only got this field here. We've got the little one then just over the other side of the road of our 2 little fields, where the one we've just sort of kind of turned round in, and then the other one's going to be where the new farm is. We've got one just the other side of that road to do, and then we've got a big one to do down the other side, at the back where the animals are. So all in all, we've not got a great deal to do, but it's still needs doing. So we'll say we'll get it done. We can get the bales collected tomorrow. I've no issues with that. Collecting the bales sort of the next day. This bale is actually doing quite well, because it's not actually missing very much. I am missing bits, and it's not really the baler that tends to miss it. It's more me that misses, mainly because it's hard to turn in at the right angles on the swaths to get them to go. I think there's a swath down my left there. It's a bit hard to see in the dark, but I think I've missed one to my left. So what we'll do is we'll go up here, and then we'll go back down that one, and that should then get us the one on the as I say, that was to my left there. It's not easy to see, to be fair. Is that any easier? Not really. Oh, that's a big pile. Crikey. I think we're going to have to give that one 2 goes. Oh, you would drop there, wouldn't you? You horrible little bale. Alright. Let's swing it, because we might be able to still make something of that. Just nudge that bale out of the way. Don't need to nudge it too much. There we go. So yeah, hope you're all having a good day. Probably should have said that at the beginning of the video. Got to admit, it's getting It's getting towards the end of the day's recording, and my mind is slowly starting to frazzle. Yes, I think that's this field done. We'll know tomorrow when the sun comes up. But we'll go off to the other field, and we will get that bit done. As I say, it is getting quite hard to see the rows now, so it's going to be interesting to see when the day does come up whether I have actually missed any or not. Oh, that's going to go into our wheat field a little bit. Oh well, it's only young, it'll recover. To be fair, actually, young sort of crop plants are quite resilient to. Why have you not baled? Are quite resilient to things like running over them and stuff like that. I mean, obviously you don't really want to do it if you can help it, because like I said, you especially if it's wet, you can make a right mess. But yeah, the plants are quite resilient to it. So I had a lovely surprise yesterday. Yesterday was Bank Holiday Monday, so I was sat busy recording, and my phone went, and it was my old boss, my old farm manager, and he gave me a call and said, "I understand, that you do YouTube videos now." So I said, "Yeah." He said, "I discovered," he said, "and recognised the voice." So I was like, "Oh, cool." So he said, "You obviously talk quite fondly sometimes about your your past and how much you enjoyed working for us and what have you, and we really enjoyed having you working sort of with us. You was uh, a very funny young chap, and lots of stupid jokes and stuff like that, and it made the day at work sort of quite good. I mean, it was really nice, and he invited me up, and I went up to the farm yesterday afternoon, and I actually got to well, the reason I was called up was because my Challenger that I'd had, my MT765, was unfortunately going in, because I'd obviously had to leave because of my health issues. We had a young girl working on the farm at the time. What was her name? It was either Lindsay or Kerry. I can't remember, because we had two girls, but one of the girls helped out, and the other girl worked with us full time. Well, in fact, it was Kerry, because I remember seeing the nameplate on the tractor. They're trading my Challenger in, and Adrian rang me, which was very nice, and he said, like, if you'd like to come up, we've got a smallish a smallish field to plough, and I'd quite like you to do it. I'd quite like you to, before because I think it's the day the tractor goes in, and so I went up there and got to drive the old girl one more time. And it's I know it's a tractor, it's a machine at the end of the day, but I don't know. It was one of the nicest things that sort of anyone's ever really done for me. To sort of think of me in that instant, and Kerry was there, and for the most part she rode along with me, And because I said to her, like, obviously you're now doing all the ploughing, and she said, yeah, this is, should I do your job? She said, but I have been told by the lads that work here that I'm not a patch on you. And so I laughed and I said, I think they're taking the mick. And she said, no, honestly, she said, like, she said, I've seen, some videos and stuff of, because the farm does a diary every year. And then at Christmas, you look back. It's a little bit like a sort of team debriefing at the end of each year, and it's like, well, we could have done that better, and this is what we've learned from there, and then the next year you try and apply, sort of everything that you learned from the year before, and of course as individuals, it makes you better because Adrian or Shane or Gary or whoever would then say, well, actually, you know you were wrong on this part, and this is the reason why, you were, and it was sort of good, because as I say, we all wanted to be the best. Our bonuses were related to profit and yield, and if we hit a certain yield each year, so the magic in the wheat was 5 ton to the acre. If we hit that, obviously we would get substantial bonuses, and I think it was 4 ton in winter barley. I think it was it through, I can't remember now because it is quite a long time ago. It's way back in 2015, 16, something like that. So what was that, about 8 years ago? But as I say, it's a little bit too far for me to remember back. But yeah, so and that's how we used to do it. And because compaction was a huge thing, and although we did unload the combines on the move, you were restricted to tram lines only, and you were not allowed to at any point drive off tram lines with the trailers. So I didn't do a great deal of grain carting. I used to help out again, like as I said, before, that if there wasn't much ploughing to be done, then I would sort of fill gaps somewhere else on the arable team. So whether it be, grain carting, or whether it would be, where's that gone? There it is. Grain carting, or sort of whatever, really. Sometimes it would just be a case of being on the grain carts would come in, they would tip it into, we had a sort of small shed, or grain shed, next to the grain pits. And so what they would do is they come in, they tip it in the grain shed, and as they were tipping it in, I would then with the forklift bucket it out and then tip it into the grain pits, and then they would obviously go up the elevators into the bins, and then we would store them if it was dry enough. Sometimes obviously the grain needed drying, but the bins were capable of drying the grain as well. You didn't have to just store dry grain in there. You could store wet grain in there and it would dry it. So sometimes I'd go off and do that, for the day, or for a couple of days or whatever, and it was all right, because the height of summer, ploughing did slow down a little bit. I was sort of waiting for veg land to be cleared. I would be, sort of, or waiting for stubble, to come available. And we didn't plough huge acreages of stubble land or anything like that, but the veg land, that would get ploughed. So when the cauliflowers came off, so what would happen is then you would have 2 weeks of sheep grazing, and then once that 2 weeks of sheep grazing had happened, they would then come off. All of the fences would obviously be removed, and then what we would do is I would go in then and plough, and then sometimes behind me there would be a power harrow, and then the planting rigs behind that, so that the ground was never fallow for long. So as I say, it was a good job, but it was lovely yesterday to go down there and sort of see my old tractor, and to be fair to Kerry, she'd said it had been a bit awkward for her because she always felt like she was driving someone else's tractor, which I kind of get. I mean, I'd had them sort of new, not about a year, 2 years before I had to leave, and so the farm sort of, they have a sort of between 5 to 8 year machine policy. So after 8 years, 8 years would be the longest a machine would go. It gets it gets taken back, and we have new in, and she's gone for a vent this time. That's her tractor of choice. So the Challenger has not only gone from the farm, it's been replaced completely. Although I am told that the Challenger has already got a new home, so the farm have traded it in against a vent, and yeah. So, but it was, as I say, it was just very nice yesterday to go up and to do a little bit of ploughing, and I mean I was well out of touch. Um, one thing she did say to me, she said, I understand that you used to freehand plough. So I said, yeah. So she said, like, did you ever keep it straight? And I was like, well, yeah, that's the point of tractor driving. The point of tractor driving is being able to drive in a straight line. GPS is wonderful for when you're planting, for when you're drilling, for when you're doing that sort of stuff. I said GPS is a must. I said, but when you're ploughing, if you can't drive a tractor down the field in a straight line, then I said, I don't mean this nastily, but I don't consider you to be much of a tractor driver because but she made the point. She made the point that she was, sort of. I mean, I'm 43. She's now, I think, 33. I think she said. And as I say, I joined the farm when I was 27. I think I did. Was it 27, 28, something like that? And she'd literally just left school. She was at college. And then she'd come and help out. And that pretty much that's how the farm recruited its staff by sort of getting kids that were at college. I'm a bit lost, if I'm honest. Right, there's the wall. Are there any more swaths, or have I got them? Oh dear. I think that's another wall. Well, that's a fence, actually. I don't know whether I've got them all or not. Oh no, here's one. Just me dry. As you can tell, I was a really good tractor driver at one time. Not as easy to see on a computer screen though. When because of sort of my circumstances, my computer screen is directly sort of just side on slightly to a window, and so the light goes right across my screen. So it's kind of like and I'm not allowed to draw the curtains or anything like this, so it's a bit of a battle to kind of see what's next, sort of thing, like, because I've got the light on it, it's dark anyway. But yeah, so yeah, yesterday, as I was saying, I tried to I mean, there's not too much teaching in freehand that you can do, but I tried to sort of give us some pointers, because we also went off and did a few other jobs with the excuse me, with the bigger Challenger. So that used to pull, as I've said before, it used to pull like the 9-meter Verdestat. I had a much bigger plough that would go on the back of that, but I couldn't use it in a lot of places because it was just too big. So the smaller Challenger and the smaller plough were used for, the fields that were in, sort of housing estates, or that were what can I say? Sort of tight lanes and stuff like that, because obviously it was easier to manoeuvre around. As I've said before, we farmed a lot all the way across sort of Lincolnshire into Cambridgeshire, and some of the fields that we had, I couldn't think of at least 4 off the top of my head, were bang in the middle of housing estates. So you had to go through the housing estate, and then at the sort of back of the housing estate would be the fields, and obviously if cars were parked on the pavement, which inevitably they were, all these houses had drives, but for some reason the pavement is far more appealing to park on. It was a job to get through, but as I say, we used the bigger Challenger yesterday. That one is staying for now, but her smaller one's is being replaced. But yeah, we used the other Challenger with the Simba press, Simba Corti press, which is I'm sure all of you know, but it's like a subsoiler and discs and everything all in the one machine, and I think that's everything. I genuinely do think that's everything. I don't think I've missed anything now. But so we went off and did that, and I sort of basically just tried to sort of explain how you would begin to do freehand sort of cultivating and ploughing and stuff like that. But it, like I say, it's not something that you can just sit there and go, oh, you do this, this, and this, because the person that you're teaching has to kind of grasp that as well and understand that as well. So it's not always. Oh dear me, I'm completely lost here. Right, there's a road. So we'll turn the baler off and lift it up. For whatever reason that didn't work the first time, but it's worked this time. And we'll head back. They all went this way. Yeah, I think this is the right way. That's going. Oh, look at that sky. Yeah, so as I say, but I had a lovely day, and as I say, I really appreciate it. I'm, very grateful to Adrian to ask, and for Kerry to agree, and sort of let me drive her tractor, because at the end of the day, and I made it quite clear to her yesterday, this is your tractor, you tell me, you don't, it was odd for her, or at least as she tried to explain, it was odd for her, because the person that had the tractor before, and obviously she was at the farm when I had to leave, and so she knew the circumstances around it. But yeah, it was really nice and really, really lovely, and I really enjoyed it, and it was a really fun day, and it brought back a lot of great memories, and and the farm have sort of said, well, if you're driving past and you see us out in the field, stop, have a ride, come and find out, if you want to do some filming here, do whatever, which at the moment I haven't really got it. Well, hang on, turn the lights off, James. I haven't really turn the lights back on. I haven't really got any. Well, this floor's a bit awful, isn't it? Crikey, no wonder the tractor's bounce. We'll have to sort that out. That'll be a winter's job. Yeah, so I haven't really got any way of filming, because a lot of people have obviously these, is it called smartphones or something, or iPhones? I haven't got that, don't understand them. Like, you know, anyone that sort of kind of watches the channel day after day. I mean, for the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, I've been trying to figure out Discord to get in touch with Grainman, who's going to help me with hopefully getting some more memory for my computer. And I like literally look at it and I'm stuck. I'm just like, you know, it's beyond me. Like I said, you know, I had a stroke when I was younger, and it has left me with the inability to sort of read and take in information and do new things. Once I learn something, I'll never forget it. It's weird how it works that, you know, what takes some people, you know, 10 minutes to learn might take me a year to learn. But once I've learnt it, even if I don't do it then for another 10 years, I can instantly go back and do it. And it's just like I've never stopped doing it, you know. But yeah, so it's odd how it all works. But as I say, I've been told that it is because of my the stroke that I had when I was 4. The reason why my brain sort of operates like that. But anyway, I'm just going to be wandering around aimlessly and talking uh, and you know, gibbering on. So we'll end today's video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, it's been requested by a few people that I do a couple of videos every now and again, or a video every now and again, where I sort of chat my way through it. And so, you know, if people, you know, give me suggestions and ideas, then I'm more than happy to you know, to do that. The this tractor didn't do anything with this trailer. It was literally used as a shunting tractor, so it just moved the trailer out of the way. I haven't been pulling anything with that tractor. I'd have pulled it to bits. But yeah, so as I say, we've got that off now. I don't think we're quite going to get everything done in time to get this drilled, because my plan was I wanted this field to be ploughed over and then drilled. I don't think we're going to get it done in time. So unfortunately, this is going to have to be spring drilled. I mean, you know, it's not too much of a problem. It's not too much of an issue, but I would have liked it to have been winter drilled. And I would have liked sort of barley or something like that to have gone in it. But you know, never mind. We didn't quite get there. But yeah, so as I say, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.